yielding time to me. America, listen up today. There may not be that many people on the floor of the House, but this is a big one. This is really a big one. Congress is poised today to betray the American people on one of the issues they care the most about, their privacy. Their privacy. Every single one of us cares about it, and so do the American people. I often say that every American has it in their DNA. Keep your mitts off of my privacy, what I consider to be private. Now, the consequences of passing this resolution are clear. Broadband providers like AT&T, Comcast, and others will be able to sell your personal information to the highest bidder without your permission, and no one will be able to protect you, not even the Federal Trade Commission that our friends on the other side of the aisle keep talking about. It's like open the door and there's no one there. That's what this thing creates. The Republicans are blowing a gaping hole in federal privacy protections by barring the FCC from ever adopting similar protections in the future. So if it's gone today, it's gone, period. The FCC rules are simple. They require broadband providers to get the permission of their customers, including all of us, before they can sell their web browsing history, their location information, and other data to third parties. The majority claims that we need to repeal these protections because they treat broadband providers differently than other online service providers, edge providers. Broadband providers are in the unique position of seeing everything we do on the Internet. This is the reason, and it's reason enough to put privacy protections in place, but it's also important to keep in mind that consumers, all of us, pay a high monthly fee to broadband providers, and they face serious barriers if they want to switch. If I want to switch, if you want to switch, you have to many times pay early termination fees. This is completely different from other online services that collect consumer data. Consumers don't pay to use search engines or social media applications like Google and Facebook. If they don't like Google's privacy policy, they can switch over to Bing without paying any fees. But consumers can't do this with broadband providers, and therein lies the difference. Last week, we heard the Republicans bemoan the lack of choice in the healthcare market. They should take a closer look at the state of the broadband market, particularly in rural America, where only 13% of consumers have access to more than one high-speed broadband provider. So the majority is telling Americans today, particularly those in rural areas, that they need to choose between their privacy and their access to the Internet. If this resolution passes, people across the country will certainly not have both. This resolution is, excuse the phrase, this is repeal without replace. The Republicans have not put forward any privacy proposal at all to replace the FCC's rules, despite knowing that repealing these rules will leave a gap in the federal protections. So the message to the American people is clear. Your privacy doesn't matter. And your web browsing history should be available to anyone who will pay the highest price for it. For all these reasons, I urge my colleagues to stand up for privacy rights and oppose this resolution. I yield back.